Well, anyway.
Anyway.
Speaking of video games and them being bad, you want to read this next one, Wade?
Wade, you got the experience with this one.
I have lots of
experience. I played it too, but I'm gonna let
Did
Wade
you
have
play it
it.
at noon on Friday?
I waited
with
until
lunchtime?
Saturday night.
I was
'cause I'm
watching
smart.
Wade's stream playing at 15 frames a second. It was the shittiest.
Wait, was I
shopping
actually
game.
playing?
Yeah, I saw you play.
Okay, you missed a lot then.
Okay. So yeah, you missed a lot, buddy.
Oh,
so
did
Anthem
I? Oh no.
came out this weekend, and let me start by saying Anthem is a fun game.
Yeah.
Anthem, whenever I was playing, is fun to play. That being said, the Anthem launch rivaled the Atlas launch in shittiness, in the sense that all of the servers were supposed to go live at noon Eastern on Friday.
Love it.
So the night before, I talked to Pat, I talked to Gar, I talked to Tesh, and we okay, we're gonna stream this game. 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 2.5 hours into our stream, I believe is the first time we got into the game.
Love it.
And as we got into the game, we constantly got kicked and couldn't sign back on. We had weird freezing glitches. There was a loading screen glitch where the loading screen, you sit there for like 2 minutes waiting for this loading bar to go. It was like we were playing PS2 again. It gets 95%. Never moves again. Gotta restart. Lose all of your experience and shit for that mission you did. We didn't do our first mission. There are 3 missions, and there's like a Destiny Strike like event that you could play. And we didn't get our first mission started until like 5 o'clock. So for 5 hours, we were just waiting for all of us to be able to get into the same game and play. And it was mind-bogglingly bad. And there's people on Twitter that are like, it's not the game developers' fault that the servers don't work, so don't blame the game devs. But every goddamn Origin game went down during this launch. It was only Origin affected. The whole internet didn't get shut fucking down. It was just Origin.
I actually experienced that. I was streaming. I streamed noon to 5 that day, so I was like, right in that during that whole saga, my chat kept telling me like Wade and Gar and them are trying to like, they can't get into the game. And I had forgotten that it was this weekend, and so I didn't preload it. Yeah. So while I was streaming, at some point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go into Origin and like give it a really hard like throttle on the download and just start that download in the background because I wanted to play it. And I tried to log on. I tried to open Origin, like the app, and the whole Origin service was down. EA's entire online service was down, all of their games and Origin itself. And so I couldn't even log on, and I was like, well, maybe this is a tomorrow game.
There was an hour-long period where I was actually in game. I was in game, and nobody else could join. So I was just running around this like little free roam area, waiting for everyone else to join to do the first mission. But Origin went offline completely, so I was not online. And like Patrick couldn't get back on Origin. Like nobody could sign into Origin.
Yeah.
And they finally got back on and tried to join. Well, it turns out that for some goddamn reason, Origin was set up to where if you're in game and offline, you can't go online in Origin. So I had to exit the game to go online in Origin. And guess what? Had issues getting back in the game, and it was fucking horrible. And I hate it so much. I hate the early access period that we are in. Early access. I'll talk about another game that's done it right, but so many companies are just like, we could test this ourselves, or just fuck you guys who paid $75 for the pre-order, and you also had to pay. Here's another thing about it that pisses me off. There's the Origin Premier, right? So you pay $100 a year or $15 a month to be an Origin Premier member. You do that, and you get access to this game for free.
Right.
But as soon as you lose your access, you lose access to the game.
Right.
So in order to get into the game on February, I guess 13th or whatever, you have to pre-order Anthem and be a Premier member in order to play the game like when it first comes out. Otherwise, you got to wait till like the 25th if you just pre-ordered the game. Yeah. So it's like they're just milking you for goddamn cash. And then on top of that, the product we get, it's called the VIP demo that we played. The VIP. Very important fucking 9 hours to play 3 short missions and 1 strike, which is like an hour, maybe 2 hours worth of content.
Yeah. And someone in chat said, well, you can't stress test with just the dev team. Then they should put it out as you're stress testing the game. It's not a demo.
Yeah.
It's like a free Do a free stress test. Let people fucking spam it and take it down.
People would be very happy, even if it was like just exclusive to like this thing. Be like, you get access to not only a stress test, but then early access. Like, and then they put it forward, be like, hey, players, look, it's gonna be shitty, just so you know, but this will help make the game better when it launches. Have at it, bros. And then everyone launches it and everyone's like, oh, it doesn't really work well, but that's okay because I know it's a stress test, not a demo. And it's just like, it's just bad.
A VIP demo.
VIP demo.
That was honestly, that was the thing that I saw so many like game reviewers and commentators going out and just absolutely fucking ripping it apart and being super negative. And if anyone tried to defend it to them on Twitter or in their comments, they would just like rip into that person for being a fucking ignorant moron. It's like, look, yeah, if they're gonna call it a demo, then this has some serious, like, it was not
VIP.
It was not a demo. It was terrible. It was nothing that a demo is supposed to be. But I think that's a marketing mistake. I don't think this necessarily means the game is going to be a dumpster fire.
I'm excited for the game.
Was an early access beta that they called a demo because they're morons, because their marketing team doesn't understand how words work. But I think if it was just called a beta or a VIP beta and people went in and were like, oh, server problems, but it's a beta. Obviously, they were testing. They had no idea what to expect. This was the first large-scale stress tests of their server and their architecture. On top of the fact that apparently this build that was the VIP demo was like a very old build of the game. Like, this is the version you got to play was weeks old at this point. So I heard at least that a lot of the bugs that were being reported were already fixed in the current build that they're working on for like release.
Which is also kind of shitty, right?
Yeah, like I don't know why they did that either. I'm sure there's a technical reason or a money reason or something, but like that's a marketing mistake. I think the gameplay, once you got into it, was really, really fun. And I'm excited for the full game, and I hope they fix it, and I hope it's not the garbage fire that so many people think it's going to be. But people who are just like deriding it as worthless, calling EA like the worst dev, like I heard a lot of hyperbole about how bad this is now, or not EA, BioWare, whatever, calling them out for being fucking terrible. It's just not. It's just not understanding the situation. They are idiots, but it's their marketing team that's idiots. They called this something it wasn't. They sold it as something it wasn't. If it was an early access beta, people would still be mad and call and joke about it for being bad, but no one would be so upset that it was terrible because it wasn't done. It was clearly not done.
A pre-order access to a beta or access to a demo, they should have something beforehand, like a stress test day or something where they're like, hey, it's not going to work this day, but we want to get everything right so that on Saturday everything works perfectly well. Like, just fucking come out and say that. Do it the right way. Don't say, hey, noon Eastern, servers online, you're going to play Anthem, you're going to love it. 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, we have some servers online, 30 people can play. We're slowly going to open up more. We shut down all of Battlefield so you guys can play.
No. What are you? No, stop being dumb. You've obviously never made a game before.
Listen, I know. I've never played the game before. If I made one. Yeah. But, so I'm gonna skip ahead to a related, someone brought up Subnautica in my chat. And I feel like Subnautica is one of the few games that actually always handled early access the right way.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt, and they actually have another DLC coming out, which I put on here, but Subnautica is a game that had early access where there wasn't a whole lot to do. And then they kept adding to it. They re-released it and they just kept adding without charging tons, without having a really shitty product. Subnautica, I feel like, is a game that did things right.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
No, yeah, we've always mentioned Subnautica as like a shining example. I mean, Minecraft also, you have to like always give Minecraft, they like kind of were the first to really do it well. But Subnautica also just really did the recipe really great, and I'm really happy with it.
You okay?
I also did not know that, so I'm ignoring you. I also did not know that Subnautica Below Zero was coming out tomorrow, so I gotta do something about that.
Yep. I forget what time. Molly was really excited for it. But yeah, it's crazy to contrast games that are just like, here, have this old inferior product that we know is buggy and won't work on these servers that we've never tested, that we just dusted off, that are from 1995. I didn't know we had servers 1995. We saved money by using those. Will you shut the fuck up over there?
I'm telling my chat to shut the fuck up. They mentioned hello neighbors, and I had to tell them to shut up.
Is that why you're dying?
Yes, because I'm outraged.
Isn't that a game that got better over time, Mark?
You eat in my ass.
Well, so something that
Warframe-
was brought up
Warframe
in
doesn't
my
work.
chat is I think the thing that's really unfair about that is comparing a single player experience to a multiplayer experience. It
Okay,
is
Warframe.
I don't know anything about Warframe.
You know,
Warframe's good. Warframe's a good game.
it's surprisingly good.
But I mean, but so we're talking about the release. When it was is it in full release right now? And when it
I
was
don't know
not
the
in
answer
full
to that.
release, did the early access have no problems whatsoever with server stability and the multiplayer function? Because it is actually
free-to-play
impossible to
game,
see
though.
what happens. Yeah, but it is technically impossible to see what happens when, like, what if 500,000 people simultaneously try to log on to our game? I don't know if you can recreate that. You can maybe simulate that, but you can't actually recreate that. Whereas there's nothing that happens in a single player game like Subnautica where it's like, we can't make that happen. There's this scenario we need to test, but we can't do it because it's, you just need one person to play the game and to understand what test you want to run and what scenario you want to run through. Like, but I don't know.
I also didn't have to pay $90 to access the early access for a lot of those games.
Did you have to get the special edition? I thought if you just pre-ordered the game,
Well, no.
any edition, you got the VIP demo.
But like a lot of people, I mean, it's like if I'm gonna, I knew Anthem was a game I was gonna want to play. But
Yeah.
in order to access it on, like I said, February 13th or whatever, it's like you had to have the premiere on Origin, which is not something I want. And then you had to pre-order the game, whatever. And I didn't know that Origin was. I didn't know I had to do that. So I pre-ordered the game, and then I found out I also had to be an Origin member. So at that point, it was like, well, okay, I guess I'm just gonna pay for both.
Sounds like you messed up.
You didn't have to do that, did you?
Yes.
In order to get, not for the VIP demo, but for the early access.
For the earlier access.
There's like 8 early access things. Now I guess what they decided after the VIP demo was such a garbage fire is I think either right now or soon, I don't know exactly when, they're gonna have an open beta for people to try it that don't have to pay to pre-order it. I don't know that was a thing before because I never heard about it before. But I think there is going to be a free trial to try out Anthem without having to pre-order it or pay for the Origin stuff. And that might be right now. That might be this weekend. I don't know when it was, but I think it's going to be this. I don't know. I don't know the details, but I believe they're having a free trial period because they want people to be like, hey, remember that free one and not the other one?
Yeah.
Again, though, gameplay was fantastic. The fort battle was really cool. The boss fight was cool. It's just the accessing the server was an issue. And then once the servers were actually functional, I could not count on both hands, my feet, and 10 other bodies how many times somebody crashed or had to restart because their game froze. And just if they had the fixes for those goddamn bugs and still released it like that, it's VIP demo is how they worded it. VIP demo.
You're really mad about it.
It took away so much from the experience. It's marred my thought of how that game is.
It's okay. Only the most dedicated fans were impacted by that. That always is great for the longevity of a game when the most dedicated, most loyal fans are the first to be fucked over. Always good. Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I was prepared because, like, again, I went through the Atlas. We streamed Atlas for 7 hours without ever getting to play, so I went through the same thing.
It's been a good month in early access video games.
Just everyone should know if I'm going to stream a game in early access, the game's not going to. That's just the lesson I have learned. I'm using my confirmation bias of 2 of 2 attempts.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Anyway, before I blow another goddamn artery in my head.
Yeah.
Arteries in my head? Well, there aren't anymore.
Yeah,
yeah. Talk someone else.
What?
Well,
I don't want to talk anymore.
What are you talking? Okay.
I don't want to talk anymore. I'm sad.
All right. Bob, you want to read the next one?
Sure. Yeah, the next one is topic number 4. I thought this was interesting. I don't know if there's much to say about this, but back to Twitch news. Apparently, I did not witness it myself, but I saw pictures and people talking about this. Sea of Thieves briefly surpassed Fortnite as the most watched game on Twitch some point during the past week. So Twitch shows you how many people are watching each game, and Fortnite is basically always on top with anywhere from 100,000 to a fuck jillion people watching it, depending on if Ninja's live or what.
Of course,
hundreds of thousands. At some point during the past week, I think it was during a low point for Fortnite, not like the big streamers weren't on, but both games were around 100,000 viewers. But Sea of Thieves had 109,000 or something, and Fortnite had 103,000. And
That's cool.
I thought that was interesting because I swear to God, since Fortnite had blew up, whenever that was, 10 months ago, since it's been a thing, nothing has had more viewership on Twitch than Fortnite ever. It's always Fortnite. It's always top of the list when you browse games. It's except for exceptional circumstances where I don't know if there was an event or whatever where certain games had a lot of viewers, but Fortnite's been killing it. And Sea of Thieves is on this huge resurgence. It came out a year ago, 9 months ago. I don't know exactly when Sea of Thieves came out. It's not a new game, and when it came out, it was sort of mildly received. People liked it, but it didn't have a lot of content, was not huge. People maybe streamed it and then got over it. That's what I did. I played it a bit and sort of ran out of stuff to do. Wasn't that interesting. Sea of Thieves has done an unbelievable job of adding a bunch of content. They've had 4 major updates where they rolled out things to do, and then they rolled out, this is not in order, but they have ghost skeleton ships that are NPC ships you can fight now. They have a new section of the map that's got volcanoes and bigger adventures and things. They've rolled out a bunch of content, and right now they're having this huge surge on Twitch. People Summit1G plays it all the time, and he gets his bros together and they go and hunt people and just murder every ship on a server, and it's blowing up. So I guess, do you guys like Sea of Thieves? Have you played any of the new content?
I mean,
and does that strike you in any way?
We played it together, and that was as much as I knew about it. It was fun. It was fun, but it got really boring really soon. So that just makes me really happy that the developers recognized that people were getting over stuff really quickly, and then they added stuff just as quickly. That's amazing that a game developer is hey, if we keep adding shit to our game that is fun at its core, then people will like it longer. It's just the game works well at its base. So the fact that they actually support it is refreshing, because most developers are oh, we made a game, it works, it's fun, even if it's just for a little bit and then it's over. But the fact that they keep doing it, that's so refreshing.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing Sea of Thieves, and I've played it with Pat Gar and JP. We played with you guys. I played with a few different groups. I know Craig and Mia played all the time, and I really enjoy the game. I've got 2 issues with it.
Yeah.
There was a glitch where people could quickly switch their guns from weapon 1 to weapon 2 and fire as if it were one bullet and one-shot people. That was an exploit that was really shitty that we encountered.
Sounds fair.
We not only encountered that exploit, but the same day that the last time I played this was a couple weeks ago, actually. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was after Atlas, because Atlas was such a garbage fire. We're let's fucking play Sea of Thieves. God damn it. Which I think a lot of people did. I think that was part of the reason Sea of Thieves got a big resurgence. People were so pissed off at the Atlas launch. I want to play a pirate game. Fuck it, let's go back to Sea of Thieves. But anyway, there was the gun glitch, and then the same time, we were trying to do some weird limited time bounties or something, or quests, and we had a whole bunch of chests, and we were trying to dig up more, and we got attacked by this ship, and we fought them off and sunk their ship, and they respawned 10 feet away and came back at us again. Respawned 10 feet away, came back. We beat this goddamn ship 4 or 5 times, and they just kept respawning with fresh cannonballs and all this shit. We were using up all of our supplies, and they just kept respawning with new shit and coming after us, and eventually they sunk us and got all of our stuff.
Right.
And I was done. It was between the gun exploit of them boarding us and one-shotting all of us with this glitch of switching weapons really fast, and being able to respawn right next to us with fresh supplies and a ship with no holes in it, it was just bullshit. And if they make it to where if a ship loses a fight, it spawns on the other goddamn end of the map, and they get rid of the gun exploit, I'll go back and play it again. But until those 2 things are fixed, I will not touch that game again, because that was so not fun. It's not fun to win a fight and be punished for it. That's not right. If I lose my loot, I lose my loot. I'm okay with that. If I win a battle 3 goddamn times and then lose my loot to the same ship because they don't have any punishment for losing other than respawning with fresh materials 10 feet away, to me that's a bad mechanic. That's bad. It's a bad way to organize a PvP game. All right, I'll step off my podium now.
Wade's hot takes. Either he doesn't know or he's fucking furious.
Well, when I experience something, and I've experienced it several times, it's just like, to me, it doesn't make sense as a mechanic to say you win a fight, oh, you died. Well, you can respawn at this base 10 feet away and go right back in and attack them again. Like, why punish the victor? Why?
Oh.
I
Why
don't
not
know.
fix the exploit? Make it to where there's a cooldown between firing when you switch weapons. Do something to keep it from being able to one-shot people with guns that aren't meant to one-shot. Like, it doesn't seem that difficult in my head to say, oh, you died at point A. Well, the closest you can respawn is point D. Like, whatever. Anyway, whatever.
Don't know what to tell you, man.
I didn't realize that was such a sore topic.
Well, I love the game, but those two things are game-breakingly unfun.
When was that? Just curious. Is that like
when
a long
did I
time
experience
ago?
that?
Yeah.
No, right after the Atlas. It was the day after the Atlas launch, I believe. So that was 2 or 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, somewhere in that range.
What am I, Bob? I'm looking at your multi-stream. Every time out of the corner of my eye, something zooms in the top right of your corner.
That's where my alert box is for Streamlabs.
Oh, okay.
So that's
sorry.
like my follows and whatever stuff is all up there.
All right, gotcha. Okay, cool, gotcha.
Yeah. Just sneaks in, sneaks back out.
Yeah. Anyway, big news. Nobody knows about this. Everybody's excited about it. Everybody's talking about it. Kingdom Hearts 3 has launched. It is out right now. Apparently there are rules against commercial videos showing intro, ending, or secret movie. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know if that applies to everybody. But I know Patrick streamed the game, and he wasn't allowed to show the intro, wasn't allowed to show the ending, show some kind of movie, and he also wasn't allowed to do a commercial stream or commercial video. He had to do a charity stream in order to play it, and I don't know why that's the case. I guess Square Enix just didn't want people giving away their... Nintendo's always been kind of funny with their stuff. But they also, I think the big thing was that a lot of people pre-ordered the Kingdom Hearts like PS4 bundle or whatever it was. Yeah. And then they found out like last Thursday or something, like a few days before it came out, GameStop tweeted out like, "Hey, whoops. Here's $25." And then they like ran away and hid.
Your mic cut out in the middle there, so
I just went silent. It was probably the intention.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, no, I intentionally went silent there.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I heard about them canceling because I heard people were extremely upset about it. And
I see when it happened, I thought it was actually just the game pre-order. I didn't realize it was just the bundle, but even just the bundle's shitty.
All right.
So, I don't know anything about this one. This is like a Disney RPG, right?
You don't know about Kingdom Hearts?
I mean, I know what it is. I've never played it. I've never watched any gameplay.
I've never played it either.
The guy has a key that's also a sword. Donald Duck is there.
Keyblade, Donald Duck is there, Goofy's there. The first game was really fun. Okay, don't get me wrong. It sounded super weird, but I 100%ed the first game. And this is when I was like a kid. I don't remember what age I was, but I know I was probably in my teens, early teens, but whatever. It was a really fun game. And then I stopped caring about it. Like, it really, really, really fell off the radar for me. And so I know there's a lot of hype leading up to this release in Kingdom Hearts 3, and everybody's waiting for it forever. It snuck up on me. And frankly, I just don't give a shit. I'm in the same camp as you probably are, Bob, as to be like, I don't care anymore. Like, the ship sailed so many years ago, and I just
so when did the first one launch? Because I have memories of this from like when I was a child of the original. It was a PS2 game, the original Kingdom Hearts.
I think it was
PS2, 2002.
Oof, that's a while ago.
Release was. Yeah,
that's
so
not
I was like,
a high volume of games coming out of that. that
I was
franchise.
12 or 13. Yeah, 12 or 13.
Call of Duty only had 7 games out at that point.
Yeah.
Got him. Got him.
I just want that as a soundbite. Just every time something trails off.
Well, okay, so my chat is informing me there are a lot of games in this franchise, but why is this only the third one then? That's not how numbers work.
Because there's 1.5, there's 2.5, there's like part A, there's subsection C that came out.
No. Your exaggerations aren't even close to the truth because it's so far beyond that.
I know. Patrick
Kingdom
just played
Hearts,
them all.
Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2. That was in the first 3 years. Chain of Memories 2 years later. Coded 358 over 2 days is the name of a game that was released in this series.
What does that mean?
I don't even know how many that is yet.
No one knows.
358
Birth by
halves?
Sleep. Birth by Sleep Recoded. That's the name of that one. Dream Drop Distance. 1.5 Remix X.
What?
Just X.
Who?
Just Kingdom Hearts X.
Is it an anagram? Do we have to take all of these letters and numbers and reorganize them and get like, ha ha ha, fuck you guys? Is that
Unchained X? And the one before this one was 2.8.
What?
Final chapter prologue.
No. Oh, come on.
2.8 final chapter prologue. All of those words don't.
Listen, we talked about Anthem's marketing team. I want to meet this marketing team because they've got some drugs in their office that they are just freely using all the time.
You know what happened was the guy who was in charge of the direction of the game, he got a pet ferret that he really, really liked. And was like a huge fan, and he thought the ferret was just so smart and impressive, and he liked him that much. And he was like, look, I'm making this game, this is my baby, and I get to choose the name. I'm gonna put my ferret in an oversized hamster ball, and he's gonna roll around with a bunch of slips of paper, and whatever words come out of that hamster ball in whatever order are the names of my games. Because what the fuck? Who did that?
Birth of Sleep X2 period 3 unrechain coded. Got it. Got it.
Pretty close.
Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out 20. Hold on, how many years later? 10 years after
2038. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation.
Got it.
That's what it's called.
PlayStation.
It's a different language. Okay, don't make fun of it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I don't know the premise of the games, but like
it's literally just like a Final Fantasy RPG, like Final Fantasy style RPG with Disney characters, right?
In it? Yeah, but why are they all there?
The game is good. The first game was anyway. I really liked it. It was very original, very creative. I didn't play a single other game because I didn't even know where to begin. I didn't know why to begin. I didn't want to know why to begin.
Well, what comes after 1? Clearly it's Recoded X.
Okay, no, I've got a timeline. Apparently in front of me of how these games all come together. So,
hold on, can you link this? I want to see this timeline.
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to put it in the Discord. It's a Wikipedia article linking to an image that shows the timeline.
I'm not going to show this.
Not start with Kingdom Hearts 1. I want to put that right.
Oh no,
out
that's
there.
halfway down the list. I see that now. Okay. All right, so Kingdom Hearts X back cover is first. Is that what that says?
Yeah, you're right.
And
back
then
cover?
Union X. I don't know what it says. I don't know.
These aren't even words that we've talked about yet. These are
Birth
other
by
words.
Sleep? Oh, Kingdom Hearts .2 Birth by Sleep comes after Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Of course, .2 does. 0.2 at that, not 1.2. Okay, then Kingdom Hearts, and then 358 divided by 2 days.
Yep.
That's a name?
That's
Yeah,
I just
I
want
You
to
can
say,
actually just divide that.
I,
You just,
yeah,
you can just divide
want,
that.
that's an even number. That's a divisible number. Why? Who didn't finish
Whatever,
their
it's-
math?
The ferret spoke. They obeyed. Then chain of memory. Then 2. Why are there random letters on this? Whatever. They're fine. Then 2, and then coded. Okay, at least recoded. I thought there was a recoded. I don't see that here. Dream drop distance.
I love
0.2 birth by.
I love the tiny little sliver for 0.2 birth by sleep. Just
Yeah.
like,
Where is that?
Then 3.
That's
Way
Right at the far right. It's a little magenta, purplish.
yeah.
Oh,
It's so small.
it's. I don't understand.
Where's I thought recoded was a thing that we talked about. I don't even see that.
Oh god, it doesn't have a white background. Oh no. Tried to open it in a new tab, not gonna work.
Dude,
I'm counting 12 titles here. I thought there were 10. What happened?
Yeah, well, so
Dude.
what is Kingdom Hearts and Union X and Kingdom Hearts X back cover? Those aren't things that we've talked about.
Just
I don't know.
you know. Good
God
question.
damn.
Yeah.
Well, they certainly. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's popular, so whatever they did, like a ton of people are really fucking excited about it. This
I
is
like to think they didn't just pull these games out of their ass and like back in 2000 or 1998 when they started designing this game, this was the timeline they had and they were like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to release Kingdom Hearts. All right, you guys see Kingdom Hearts, it's the blue highlighted icon. And then we're going to release throw a dart, good work monkey, and we're going to release that one. And then we're going to wait 5 years and ferret roll over. Which one will that be? Oh, that one. Like, what the fuck is this?
Good work, monkey.
Yeah, the monkey is just like a monkey throwing a dart. Like, oh, good work, monkey. We're gonna Birth by Sleep comes out next.
The way this exposition has gone about this game series reminds me of when we were on tour and Mark, you were like, I've been reading Warhammer 40K. It's so good. It's so good. And I was like, oh, that does sound cool. You like told me a little bit. And I was like, okay, which one's first? And you were like, well, do you want to, that depends. And I was like, which one's first? What do you mean? Which one do I read first? And you were like, no, it's not, doesn't work like that. Like,
what are the letters
Who
on
did
here?
this?
Like, what?
No.
Why is B? B just points to a break in the line. What does that mean?
Hang on, I can't just let you shit all over Warhammer like that. It's because it's not like that. Because it's not like that. It's a whole universe. You can't point to one thing as the beginning of it. It's just you want me to go to the birth of the universe because that's when it starts. That's when it starts. You want me to go to the war of the Necrons versus the old ones?
No.
You want me to go because that was billions of years ago. You want me to go that far back? Because I'll go that far.
You right.
I'll go. So the old ones were these like frogs that floated around on clouds and they had psychic power.
Oh God. Oh no.
Why does the B and D have breaks in the line? What does that mean?
Some of the
What do
story
any of the
is not
letters-
yet told.
What do any of those letters represent?
I still want to read some for Warhammer stuff, but like I looked at it and I understand why you couldn't explain to me where to start. I went online and I was like, how do I want to read Warhammer, Googling stuff, and the internet was like, dude.
If we get a flow chart of the Warhammer series and we put it next to this one, are they the same?
Are you looking at like a Warhammer
Is
timeline?
this Warhammer or is this Kingdom Hearts?
If you looked at a timeline of Warhammer 40K, it would be a Wikipedia article 200 pages long. I'm not exaggerating about that. There is.
Oh God.
You'd have to break it up by millennium because there is. I just went to the timeline on the Lexiconum, and it is broken up by timeline.
Into 42 millenniums.
42 millennia.
Oh my Jesus! Well,
But
only
it's only
like 10 of them have
Why is it
names.
42? Okay.
M1 is the Age of Terra begins. M's 2 through 14 are just nothing. There's some planets floating around.
You know when they say things like chronology of events? or the lexiconum that you're in for some bullshit when you try to figure this out.
Nah, I don't like the Lexiconum wiki. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people do, but I don't like it.
Yeah, fuck that one.
Anyway, I didn't mean to get us on to
Listen,
Warhammer.
give us 10 more years
No,
and Kingdom
no.
Hearts
There.
will be just as hard.
There.
Hello.
That one. Go to
Just-
that one.
Okay. Are you looking at the Warhammer 40k fandom one?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking
That's
at
a
that already.
more easy consumable timeline.
10th founding, 13th found. What the fuck does
Where
this
is the
mean?
timeline at?
The Millenniums is out of order.
Look, I can only help you so much.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2, 20, 21. So close.
Are you sure you're not looking at Kingdom Hearts again? I feel like these are the same games.
Yeah,
Same
you're probably
universe.
right. There's
Well, and
probably
they're
some crossover.
So on the left side, they're numbered in letter 2. There's section 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. A, C, D,
At least they
F,
all use
I, M.
numbers, and
Like, what the fuck?
that's still easier to follow than recoded X back cover. Week 2
Is
birth
it
by
though? They're
sleep.
just random. D, F, I, M, R, S, T, U. Oh,
Yeah.
that's one. I'll give those 4 letters in order.
0.2 birth by
Oh
sleep.
my god.
58 over 2 dream drop distance. What do these have in common? Apparently the fucking 2 words kingdom and hearts.
Okay. I think we
Could it be
covered
Warhammer? Yes.
I think both Kingdom Hearts and Warhammer could have used like an editor for the overarching narrative or something, but
Oh, I like the
Yes.
word necrodermis. That should be a Kingdom Hearts game. Kingdom Hearts 8 necrodermis. It's somewhere. I scrolled to a random part of the Warhammer timeline. I got to necrodermis.
Why did you get the necrodermis? Why?
I don't know. I'm at necrodermis.
sounds like the kind
I
of shit
know.
we would go out to LA to hang out with Mark or do something, and everyone would get there, and Mark would be walking around with some strange object in his hand, and everyone would be like, so eventually someone would get up the courage and be like, hey, Mark, what is that and that you're carrying? And he'd be like, oh, you haven't heard of this? It's for skin wrinkles. It's called necrodermis. You just gotta put the necrodermis on your skin. It's the necrodermis.
Yeah. Well,
Well-
this sounds oddly like when I was super into the snail.
Yeah, the snail
Oh my
snail juice.
God.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind.
Wait, do you want some snail? What?
You know, it's some
the
snail for your face,
paste
bud.
is very good for your face.
Let's rub some snails on your
Wasn't
face.
that the same weekend that we found out people were getting sick from snails? Wasn't that the
I
same?
don't know,
Yeah,
man. I don't think.
yeah, I remember that. Right in the middle of
huge
all that,
snail.
someone was like, "Oh, an article. Some people are getting salmonella from snails."
Mark was in the middle of rubbing it on his goddamn cheek.
Look, listen.
hmm
All right, I got nothing.
Well, so just to clear this up, for everyone wondering, the forging of physical shells for the Cetan cast from the living metal called necrodermis. So there you go. You learned
Yeah.
something today about Warhammer.
There you go. There you
The
go.
living metal used for shells for Cetan,
hmm
Yeah.
which Cetan is the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Is that
That's
like
the-
2 versions before Etan?
I think so.
It's the Catan.
My brain hurts.
Uh huh.
I never want to look at these 2 games again. Ever.
I don't want to look at you either, so I guess we're even, huh?
Wow.
No, I don't think so.